Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm trying to find the sun is so intense right now and I don't think I can be in my office. Can we just talk about indoor outdoor cats for like half a second? Like I am my cats, it has been very wet in Utah, which is really strange. Like, this is the second day in a row where the water, it's just been, the grass has been wet. Oh, God, that's terrible and painful. All right. Yes, you guys are going to get to see. Look at my ugly ass light. That's terrible and needs to be replaced. Oh, this is better. Okay. I'm like, man, I gotta find a place. It's cold. Look at my very old hat that I love because it's so warm. It's got a whole, it's wool, and then it's got a whole fleece lining right here, and I literally just cannot find this hat again anywhere. I'm gonna start looking again. I love the rim. It keeps the snow off my glasses for the most part, unless it's really coming down. And yeah, this wasn't at all what I had in mind for our day, but can we talk about indoor outdoor cats for like a minute? It's been wet here, and the dew point, normally we don't have this kind of weather, and we have in the past just had weeds in our yard, which I still have some weeds and I'm working on. Speaking of which, I'm going to ask here, do you know of a weed killer that I can spray, not kill the ground, not kill the grass, but I can spray it safely around our apple tree without hurting and poisoning the apples themselves or hurting the tree itself. It's a small area, so I can do it by hand, but what I noticed yesterday when I was out there doing it with my action hoe, every time, I could just hear my husband saying something smart in my head. Anywho, when I was out there, I noticed I was ripping up a lot of grass with the action hoe at the same time as getting the weed out. So I'd like to find something that doesn't do quite so much damage and doesn't also require me to be down on my hands and knees to get it done safely and easily. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We have a lot of things. I want to talk about how our city or world is crazy. The police shot and killed a man down the road. Literally, like, I could walk there in less than 3 minutes. Last night, down the road. And he, I believe, was having a mental health breakdown. And he was shooting at people inside of his house and shooting outside of his house and shooting at police, and they had to kill him, which is really shitty, if you ask me. So, no word on that whole situation other than it was a domestic violence call. They came, he was intoxicated, and it devolved over the course of time. But I got out of bed last night to do something, and I noticed I was checking on our stray cat. So I've set up a little bedding area. I don't know if you can see it. A little bed for her with an old fleece liner that goes in my Columbia jacket. So it's water resistant, or moisture wicking and whatnot, or moisture resistant. That's the word. And I'm currently working on figuring out what kind of house to put her in over the course of the winter, because I cannot bring another cat into this house. And I want her to survive. And the house that she was living in It was 2 doors down in a shed, and I'm pretty sure they put a door on the shed, or they put something in place so she can't be there. And so I want to make sure that she is okay. I have not slept well all week, and the last 2 nights in particular, I have had almost the same dream and nightmares all night long. So I'm quite tired, and yeah, there's just a lot going on. So a couple things I want to talk about the bookkeeping business for half a second, and then maybe get your suggestions and your help with naming a program that I have going on and why I need to change the name. For me, I understand the concept of accountability, and I like that concept, but the word accountability, at least for me, has a lot of connotations to it. And so I really want to be mindful of that, and I think that's part of why I'm not because when I described the program without a name, I got amazing feedback, and described what I wanted the program to be, what I wanted it to do, all of those things. I got really good feedback. And a whole bunch of people saying, oh my God, I need that, or oh my God, I would have totally paid for that, or, whatever and what have you. And then I actually developed the program, and now no one's bought it. So I'm thinking that it's something in the naming. That's part of the issue, at least. So that's something I want to focus on, is getting that fixed. I don't know why I changed positions. This is awful too. Why didn't I just sit where I was? Because I felt exposed. I didn't like it. I like to have my back to a wall or something, And there's a huge gap. And if I turn this way, you're gonna see some of my dirty dishes. All right. So yeah, the core of this program this is what it does. We all need help getting our bookkeeping done, and for me, it used to go to the bottom of the list, right? And then fires would pop up, or ideas and shiny object syndrome would happen because I have ADHD or ADD, and I'd be like, oh, well, now I need to go over here and do this. I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do that next week. And then next week would come and stuff would happen and I would forget. And then the end of the year would come and I'd go, oh, fuck, I didn't do any of my work. I didn't do any of it. I now have to do an entire year's worth of bookkeeping in the span of a week in order to get this done, while also finishing all of my clients' bookkeeping and all of that. And so this program is designed to gently nudge you and remind you, check in with you, and make sure that you are on track, or at least know when you're going to do it and commit to doing that. And it also serves to remind you about your quarterly tax payments and tax deadlines for the federal taxes, which I know that I personally, off the top of my head, even though I do this, couldn't tell you what the tax payment deadlines are. I don't know. I can look them up for you, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head. So that's something that is offered in this, and it's just something I set up, and it automatically sends those things to you. And so, A, if you're interested in this program, let me know. B, if you have a suggestion, because I have just been calling this the bookkeeping accountability check-in program, and I don't like the name, and I think that's part of why I haven't been talking about it as much as I should and would like to even. I can't say all that. It's a mouthful. So give me ideas on what you think I should name it, and B, if you are interested. There are 2 levels. One gives you more access to me than the other one. In this beta season where I'm just launching this, the base option is $19 a month, and it gives you all of those, the monthly check-ins. It gives you once a month check-in, and it gives you all of the email reminders, and then it will give you the option to ask me up to 2 questions each month. So you actually have access to me to be able to ask up to 2 questions. And then there's a higher tier, a second tier program, and that one allows you to have up to 6 questions every month. And the price for that one is $30 a month, or $29 a month, sorry. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. So let's talk about the we will talk about candles because it's kind of part of that, right? So I started making candles 2 years ago, and I'm occasionally making candles now. It's not something I do to sell. I kind of had to start over with my wax and my, you're just going to get to see some of my table mess. I had to start over with my wax and start over with my wicking and just all the things. Like, I started to finally figure it out, but I'd spent so much money I couldn't continue to invest in that right now, and that's kind of where I was. I need to continue testing. But with the soap thing, in the process of starting that, and I wanted it to sell because I was making awesome candles and I wanted to share them. There were some issues that I ran into and some liability things that I wasn't really ready to deal with. So then I started making soaps, and that's where you all have caught me. I'm making soaps. By the way, so far my testing of the new base is really, really good that I was telling you about yesterday. Really good so far. So, I realized, I don't know if I said this yesterday, but I realized that one of the things that was happening is that I wash my hands a lot more than most people. And I'm going to try to narrow that down, but oftentimes, like, I'll wash my hands and then forget that I have to, like, unload the dishes or unload the bags from the grocery store or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so then I wash my hands and then I empty the stuff and then I have to wash my hands again. It's like so much washing of the hands, right? So I realized that I have these extremely high expectations for what my soap needs to do for me. And a lot of people are not going to be washing their hands as many times as I do with my soaps. So for most people who don't have dry skin, it will be perfectly fine. And then some. So the other thing that I have been recognizing is that I've been wanting to continue ordering more stuff. And there's 2 schools of thought. The more you buy, the cheaper it is. And also it's also saving space, and by buying more because you're buying a bigger container, blah, 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 blah. So the place that I get most of my oils from, they don't offer a 4-ounce option. They offer 2-ounce, and then it jumps all the way up to 8. And, that's kind of inconvenient. I really wish they would offer a 4. But I have been playing with the idea of just getting 4-ounce containers for myself and putting the oil, getting 2 2-ounce containers and putting the 4 ounces of oils into those larger containers. It would save me a lot of money, and not at first, obviously, because I have to buy the containers, but over the long haul, that would save me a lot of money. And also, those oils expire after a time, and so, I have this 8-ounce thing of one of my oils that I can't use in soaps, and it isn't so great in candles, and only works sort of well in wax melts. Like, it worked really well when I initially bought it, which is really weird and could be a wax problem more so than anything else. This all just could be the fact that all of that wax sucked. But now it's so old that I'm probably going to have to throw it out. So I've wasted a ton of money, wasted a ton of oil, and, it's just not great. So here's what I would say if you're first starting out. Buy smaller quantities of everything until you solidify what you're doing and where you're doing it. Buy the smallest quantities you possibly can. Test the absolute shit out of everything. And then once you've got your core line, then you can come back and start buying slightly more quantities once you're selling enough to make that worth it. And in the case of soaps, it doesn't take much, because you're only putting 3 to 5% of those oils in there anyway, and especially oils because they're expensive. It is genuinely the most expensive part of your soap. So I would just be really, really mindful about that. And you want to see an awesome picture? We love it. We're Star Wars fans here. So the whole point is you want to make sure that you are doing the right thing for your business, the right thing for your pocketbook, and keeping you on a budget, because if there will come a time where your profit margin could be 4 times the cost, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that day is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that that's right now. Maybe your profit margin is only twice as high, right? But then I'm really excited. I'm going to tell you something. I am contributing to a summit that's happening locally here, and I get to make 15 soaps. And what I'm going to do is on the thank you card, or on the soap care card, which I'm going to have to create and put together and print out, I'm going to put on there a code for them to get 15% off their first order, or free shipping. So they'll get the option of either free shipping on their order, or order of, $12 or more. Not my normal free shipping option. We're going to do something different. So I'm pretty stoked about this. It's a really good opportunity to get in front of some business owners and to hopefully create some connections and maybe some sales later on. Plus, it's just for a good cause. So I love that. And I love the idea of being able to get all of my soaps into 15 additional people's hands. And the person ordering them has given me creative license to do whatever I want as far as the scents go. But they're for women. So I love this idea of getting to be creative. I love this idea of mixing and matching scents, or doing all the same scent. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think I have enough of the oils to do just one scent. So I'm probably going to have to do at least 2 for 15 bars. But I'm so excited for this. And this was kind of the exact thing that I was looking for. And hopefully it'll lead to some customers, especially right before the holidays. So I just have to get that done before the end of this month and get it to her. Trying to think of what else is going on. My kiddo's birthday is this week, so we are doing some fun stuff for that. And next week we will celebrate with family. And yeah, I have to buy the cat a shelter. And I have to figure out how to put a door on there that she will actually use. I'm having to buy a smaller shelter than I want because my back tire has a slow leak in it. This morning I came out and it was like 2 psi lower than it was yesterday, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. It was chilly this morning though, and that always happens with every tire, right? But I've lost like 10 psi in the last month-ish. So we are actually having a problem. And I've needed 2 new back tires for a while. So I'm probably going to get her a smaller shelter than I was planning on getting her so that I can replace my tires. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I will get paid from one of my clients who owes me a considerable amount of money. Anywho, all right, guys, I feel like this is long enough, and hopefully some of those tips helped you. Let me know about the accountability program. What should I call it? And maybe it's just the bookkeeping check-in program. I don't know. Anywho, have a good day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya. Bye.